Once upon a time, there lived a family blessed with twin daughters, Abiodun and Bisola. Abiodun was a very beautiful girl, but also a lazy girl, while Bisola was a very hard-working girl. Abiodun doesn't like to do anything in the house. She hides from chores and farm work. She loves to be pampered just because she feels she is the most beautiful girl in the village and feels she will marry the richest man, and so no need to stress herself with anything other than to look pretty. Bisola is a very hard-working girl who assists in the house chores and the family affairs. She farms and still goes to the market to sell her farm produce. No wonder she is her father's favorite. No matter how much the father talks to Abiodun, she doesn't seem to change her ways. And worse still, her mother encourages her behavior as she sees nothing wrong in what her daughter is doing. One day, as Bisola went to her stall in the market, it was a beautiful day as always, gathered with traders and people buying, but she caught the attention of a young handsome man. She had not seen any man so handsome as he approached her stand. Bisola got talking with the young gentleman, and they became fond of themselves quickly, and they exchanged address and decided to meet up somewhere nice to talk much better. Later in the day, Abiodun and her mom set up to go see one of her clients. Her mom, knowing that her client's son, who works in the big city, is back, wanted to use the opportunity to introduce her daughter to her son. On arriving at the house, it was obvious her client was about stepping out, but she decided to introduce her son to the girl, seeing how beautiful she was. They exchanged pleasantries and decided to meet up someplace so they could talk much better. Later that evening, when Bisola was back from the market, she could not contain her joy as she was so happy. Her sister Abiodun was also in a cheerful mood, and they discussed their day. They talked about the young gentleman which they met earlier in the day, and they said that they will be meeting him up later. As days went by, Paul and Bisola became so close and they fell for each other. But Paul had no interest in Abiodun. Yes, she is beautiful, but it was obvious it was all she had to offer, and he wasn't interested in that kind of relationship. Soon, both sisters found out that it was the same man they had met, and Abiodun told her sister that she was going to make Paul hers, as she had already fallen for him. Bisola just said she can't fight for a man, that what will be, will be. Paul invited Abiodun one day and told her that they can only be friends, as he was in love with another woman. This infuriated her so much as she knew instantly that it was her sister he was talking about. Abiodun said to herself, "If I can't have him, no one else can." One day, Abiodun came up to her sister and asked her if she could escort her to visit her friend in the neighboring village. Bisola accepted to go with her. The next day, they set off to the village. While Bisola was discussing with her sister, the next thing she realized is a sharp stab on her back twice. And she then pushed her sister to the ground. And she told her that if she can't have Paul, no one else can. She hurriedly dragged her sister into the bush and set off for her home. Luckily for Bisola, A hunter witnessed what happened and rushed to carry Bisola back to his hut so he could treat her. Abiodun ran home and told her parents that Bisola had been devoured by a wild lion while going to the neighboring village. Tears filled their household and people came to console them. She decided to stay so close to Paul as she saw it as an opportunity to get him as her competition was out of the way. When Bisola recovered fully, she thanked the medicine man, though very hurt that her own sister would want to kill her because of a man, and feared that on her return, she wouldn't know how to tell her parents or how they would take it. She decided to visit Paul and narrate all her ordeal to him. Bisola met Paul and explained all that happened to her, to him and his mother. They were in utter shock, but Paul decided to come up with a plan to expose her in front of everyone. Paul told Abiodun that he wants them to get married as soon as possible. Her parents were against it, given that they were still mourning her sister, but it was obvious that Abiodun did not care and went ahead with the plans as she did not want to miss this opportunity. On the day of the ceremony, everyone in the village had gathered, and as they were about to commence, out of nowhere, Bisola showed up. Abiodun was in so much shock and shouted, "Are you a ghost?" She told her sister, "No, I am alive and well. You are surprised your plan to kill me did not work?" Her parents were in utter shock, and Bisola narrated her story to them. The mother shouted, "What wrong have I done in raising you?" The father was so angry that there and then he disowned her. Paul went on his knees in front of everyone and asked Bisola to marry him, and she accepted. There was a loud cheering as everyone was happy. The end. The lesson of this story is that parents should learn to train their children properly. Note that envy and jealousy is dangerous, and know that what is meant to be will be. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when the video pops up. Like and leave me a comment. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.